I would like to begin this episode by acknowledging that I am located in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and I am privileged and honored to live and learn on the unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Anishnaabeg Algonquin Nation.
Hello, you're listening to Trench Leadership, a podcast from the front, produced by iGlen Studios, a show for emerging leaders from all professions. To hear from other leaders who have led from the front, made the mistakes, had the triumphs, and are still learning along the way. And now, here's your host, Simon Kardynal.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Trench Leadership, a podcast from the front, a show for emerging leaders. In this episode of Trench Leadership, we're going to explore the importance of being a happy leader, why it matters, and how it can positively impact ourselves, our teams, and our organizations. Because in a world filled with challenges and responsibilities, it's easy to get caught up in the pressures and demands of leadership. However, happiness is not only essential for our personal well-being, but also crucial for our success as leaders. First and foremost, let's consider our own well-being. As leaders, we often bear the weight of important decisions, managing complex situations, and navigating through uncertainty. It can be overwhelming at times, but when we prioritize our own happiness, we are better equipped to handle these challenges. In fact, happiness provides us with a sense of resilience, optimism, and emotional well-being. It fuels our passion, creativity, and motivation, allowing us to lead with enthusiasm and purpose. In short, when we're happy, we bring our best selves to the table. Our teams can't help but feed off of our positive energy. Shawn Achor, the best-selling author of The Happiness Advantage and Big Potential, defines happiness as the joy one feels striving for one's potential. The challenge as leaders is to work to pursue our own potential while we also strive to help our team members attain their goals. Speaking of teams, the impact of happy leadership on our employees is immeasurable. Think about the last time you were part of a positive work environment. How did it make you feel? Did you feel empowered? And then think about the time you were on teams that maybe weren't so happy, weren't so positive. How did you feel in those situations? What were you asking yourself? What were you reminding yourself? If I had to guess, I'd say it was something like, if I'm ever in charge, I'm not going to be like that person. And that's okay. That's all part of the learning. And those are part of the things that we have to figure out. But it's about holding on to those nuggets, remembering them, because now it's your turn. It's your turn to create a positive and happy environment. The Fearless Leaders Group spoke about the importance of happy leadership and its impact on the team. The group speaks about how happy leaders create an atmosphere where employees feel valued, appreciated, and supported. It's proven that authentic appreciation boosts employee productivity by 50%. Just by being a happy person. 50%. Think about that. They foster open communication, encourage collaboration, and provide opportunities for growth. When employees are happy, they become more engaged, productive, and committed to the organization's goals. Happy teams also tend to have lower turnover rates, saving time and resources that can be reinvested in achieving success. For myself, I often think of this restaurant that I went to quite often when I was living in Montreal, Canada, and it was called Incroyable. It was just an amazing restaurant. It still is an amazing restaurant. It still exists. This place specializes in breakfast, and one time I had been speaking with the owner about how amazing the restaurant was, and we got to chatting, and one of the facts that he brought to me was that the turnover rate was very low. In fact, the majority of the servers at that particular restaurant stayed there on an average of 7 years. We're thinking about a restaurant. 7 years is quite a long time for the average to hang out. That's pretty impressive. And that's because there was an atmosphere created where they felt safe and happy and valued. That's important. We can never underestimate the importance of those types of things. Moreover, happy leaders inspire and empower their teams to reach their full potential. By setting an example of positivity, enthusiasm, and resilience, we encourage our team members to adopt the same mindset. The fact of the matter is that happiness is contagious. It spreads like wildfire throughout any organization. And when our teams see us navigate challenges with a positive attitude, they become more willing to embrace change, overcome obstacles, and think outside the box. Happy leaders create a culture of trust, psychological safety, and camaraderie, where everyone feels motivated to contribute their best work. But the impact of happy leadership doesn't end there. Organizations as a whole benefit from leaders who prioritize happiness. A positive work environment leads to increased employee satisfaction and well-being, which translates into higher levels of productivity and innovation. In fact, happy employees are 12% more productive, often leading to employees more willing to go the extra mile, offer new ideas, and collaborate effectively. Furthermore, organizations with happy leaders tend to be more adaptable to change, as they foster a growth mindset and a culture that embraces learning and improvement. Ultimately, this results in improved overall organizational performance and success. So I guess that brings us to the question, how can we become happy leaders? How can we help our team members be happy? And to be perfectly honest, most are common sense ideas, but it never hurts to be reminded of the ways to be a happy leader.
Oh, hello there. It's Glenn, the voiceover artist. And if you're hearing me, that means we're at the midpoint of this episode. Do you have an idea for an episode that you feel is vital for emerging leaders? Leave the idea in the comments section, and if your topic is chosen, you will have the opportunity to join us as a co-host during the recording session. So, drop us a note and let's talk. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. And if you feel we've earned it, please tell your friends and leave a review to help us grow our following. And now, back to the show.
So, without further ado, here we go. Happy leadership starts with self-care. Take time to engage in activities that bring you joy and rejuvenate your energy. We all feel better, lighter, and more energized when we are taking the time for us. Now, I know what you're very likely thinking. Simon, I don't have the time. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm calling bullshit on this. The time is there. Take it, use it. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Trust me on this. The next point is to practice mindfulness. Take the time to exercise, spend time with loved ones, and pursue hobbies outside of work. Although it might feel like it, life can't be all about work. It's a well-known fact that people who take the time to rest the mind and body are prone to more personal and professional happiness. Up next is to nurture positive relationships and seek support from mentors or coaches. In other words, seek out people you trust and feel, I see what's going on there. Up next is to nurture positive relationships and seek support from mentors or coaches. Seek out people you trust to give you honest guidance along your leadership journey. The confidence you gain from having people you trust will give you the means to be stronger and happier. I can't speak for everyone else, but I know for me, this is one point that I really struggle with. Because work goals are a fact of any career. And while goals are important, setting unreasonable goals will almost certainly affect our outlook, our mood, and our belief that we are accomplishing the important parts of our careers. And as I said earlier, I challenge with this one. And the reason for that is because I often don't necessarily think I set unrealistic goals, but I set a whole bunch of big goals and they all happen at the same time. Or I drastically underestimate how big the work required to get to that goal is. It's difficult. So it's all about figuring out how and when and why and all the different things to know how to set those realistic goals for yourself. Celebrate your achievements along the way. Remember, happiness is not a destination. It's a lifelong journey of self-discovery and personal growth. The fact is, you're a rock star. So why not celebrate your awesomeness? You've worked hard, you've been dedicated, so take the time to celebrate the wins. Always smile. You need to learn the skill of smiling in times when you don't really want to. But the thing is, smiling increases mood-enhancing hormones while decreasing stress. Smile. You may need to learn the skill of smiling in times when you don't really want to. But the thing is, smiling increases mood-enhancing hormones while decreasing stress-enhancing hormones, including cortisol and adrenaline. And I know it sounds all fine and dandy to say, smile when you don't want to, but when I'm quite often when I'm out running, the app will tell me, hey, are you smiling right now? Put out a big smile, especially if you're starting to struggle. And I find that even though I look a little funny when I'm running along and I'm trying to smile as best I can, and it's more of a smile grimace, the effort is there. And I can feel myself saying, okay, I'm putting the effort into this and reminding myself that Maybe in the moment, I don't necessarily enjoy the run. I do enjoy the concept of running and getting out and doing that and the actual physical aspects of it. So smile. It will remind you of the happier times. Laugh. If you never laugh, work is a funeral march. And do you remember a time when something funny was said and the boss didn't laugh? How many people wanted to laugh but chose not to because they were taking the leader's lead in how to act during the meeting? As the leader, be human. If something is appropriately funny, you can be human and laugh. Your team will follow your lead and thank you. Be sure to notice contributions. Everyone on your team is contributing. Whether big or small, people want to receive acknowledgement for their contributions. Take the time to recognize everyone's hard work, highlighting how and why the effort has been so impactful. Notice strengths and effort. This point falls in line with notice contributions. Taking the time to see your team members will ensure your team feels valued and needed. These feelings often translate into the sense of community that is so very vital to creating happy teams. Lastly, be an encourager and have an encourager. Would you rather go to war with a group of self-serving individuals or a group of connected people? I think we know the answer to this question. And lastly, be an encourager and have an encourager. Would you rather go to war with a group of self-serving individuals or a group of connected people? I think we know the answer to this question. And remember, as the leader, it's your responsibility to be the encourager, to cheer everyone on, to be their biggest fan, even if you don't think it. You have the power to be the reason for happy teams. Remember, being a happy leader is not a luxury. It's a necessity. Our happiness as leaders impacts not only ourselves, but also our teams and organizations. By prioritizing our own well-being, we bring our best selves to our roles, inspiring and empowering our teams to reach new heights. A positive work environment fosters collaboration, innovation, and employee engagement, leading to improved organizational performance. So let's embrace happiness as an essential ingredient in our leadership toolkit and create a ripple effect that transforms lives and organizations. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, leadership without passion limits the depth of your vision.
Never miss an episode by following us on all of your favorite feeds. While you're there, please consider leaving an episode review and let us know what topics you would like to hear about. Be sure to join us next week with your host, Simon Kardynal, for another episode of Trench Leadership, a podcast from the front, produced by iGlen Studios, music provided by Ashamal of Music.